So let's talk about how do you go in and relax the nervous system in some way? What are the different ways of doing that?
So before we talk about that, I just want to give a caveat though.
Okay.
You don't want to relax it so much so fast that then the trauma material can just come rushing in. So there really is a technique of being very, very delicate, especially in Israel with the very severe trauma patients. You want to really be monitoring very closely and very carefully how aroused they are and try to balance that. And I can talk more about the details of how you do that, but that's the goal. And so some of the ways, for instance, at one of the trauma centers at Boston, one of the things they'll do just manually is they'll have the patient tap on one of the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is a cranial nerve that goes into, it's like a net in the body, and it goes into the visceral organs, the various visceral organs. And counterintuitively, when it's activated, it relaxes you. So at some of the trauma centers, what they'll do if somebody can't talk, let's say if they were just in a very severe accident and it was so traumatizing to them, they're like in a kind of state where they can't talk, then what they might do is just have them just tap just like that
on their chest.
Yeah, because the cranial nerve is the vagus nerve. One of the places it stops at the very top is right in the heart, so you can get at it right there.
Interesting.
And you can just do this, you can tap 100 times in a minute, so it's very fast and it has a pretty rapid result. I mean, people will notice it, and then you can do the other side too.
And what is the result that people experience?
It's an amazing result, actually, because what you'll see is people who couldn't talk before all of a sudden will be able to talk. Their nervous system will calm down enough because you're activating the vagus nerve, and it'll calm them down enough where they're going to be able to put words together and make a coherent story and a cohesive story about what happened. Because one of the things that happens when people are traumatized as well is if they can talk, their story is not coherent, it's not chronological, it's all over the place. Which, by the way, I do want to say, because this is something very important to me, people who are traumatized, their stories oftentimes are not believed as much as the person who perpetrated the trauma, because that's one of the signs that we look at, because their brain is dysfunctional in a certain way where the stories come out incoherent, not cohesive, not chronological. Things that are minor might have a big meaning, you know, like his smell. I remember his smell. Whereas the perpetrator of the trauma is very smooth. She is not traumatized. And so you can tell a very cohesive and coherent story. And a lot of times the judges or the public can get fooled by that.